Hello my lovelies, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is the top most complimented perfumes of 2023 in my collection. I did this roundup, really thought about this, and these 10 are it. So if you want compliment getting fragrances, or if you're just curious, then keep on watching. By the way, this is a perfume and luxury channel, so if you enjoy those topics, subscribe if you haven't already. And now let's start with my first and most complimented, but also my most recent acquisition of a perfume. So this is very surprising, but this quickly has become one of my most complimented perfumes. So I can only imagine that it will be on my next year's list for sure. And it is Carine Roitfeld, Forgive Me. This scent is so sexy and it's got this beautiful plasticky tuberose. Yes, you heard right, plasticky tuberose. And I fell in love with Orchid Soleil from Tom Ford because of this plasticky tuberose that they had in there, and this has got that same note. And I know it might sound awful, but it is so interesting, so Moorish, so good. It's just and this is a fragrance that is white florals, but it's also woody, it's also herbal, a bit dark, a bit more vampy, and really sensual. This scent is just really unique, really good quality, and something that is worth compliments. I get compliments. Well, my husband absolutely adores this fragrance on me, and he doesn't often note on my fragrance. I would say that I say to him, I love his fragrance much more, or I'm like, oh, what are you wearing? I love this. But he doesn't do it that often. I'm really sad about it. But for this one, he's obsessed with it. And it's one of those scents that is a new acquisition, but it really just gets crazy reactions. And I recommend this brand because it's a bit more under the radar, which is great for those of you that want to smell unique. Next scent, there is also a newer acquisition. That is why it's on the bottom of this list, but it also got me crazy compliments this year. It is Tom Ford Black Orchid, as I've said, a newer acquisition, but again, this is something that my husband absolutely loves on me, and not all the compliments for all of these fragrances are only from my husband, but because these two are more of recent acquisitions, that's why, and he's obsessed with it, and I admit that I love this fragrance on him as well. It's typical black orchid. It's just so chocolatey, super spicy, a bit of this like cucumber opening. I love it. It's perfect for wearing right now. It's a strong, opulent, like in your face sort of a scent, but I love the strength of it. I think it's very empowering, and yeah, I think it's a compliment getting fragrance because it can really be smelled, and sometimes that is just enough of a trick for a compliment. So we are moving to fragrances that just got crazy compliments this year. It might be one of the most, if not the most complimented fragrance in my collection. It is absolutely crazy. I'm still yet to repurchase it. I've gone through a whole bottle of this. It is Oud Wood from Tom Ford. This fragrance, I just don't get why, but it gets crazy compliments. The post office, coffee shops, random people on the street, church, everywhere. This fragrance is one of those that if you want crazy attention and compliments, you know, we're not always in a mood for that sort of attention, but this, like, don't wear it if you don't want to be talked to, because it's just amazing. It's this smoky, dry, woody scent, and it's so attractive, so sexy, especially on a woman, because this feels a bit more of it's more of a unisex scent, but does totally work on women. I believe Taylor Swift wore it as her signature scent. I don't know if she still does, but it is a scent that women can totally pull off, and it's just magic. It's just magic on the skin, how it wears. Try it, because there is something about this fragrance, and it does get crazy compliments. Next scent that is just a compliment getting monster, I would say. And it's another designer scent. It is this one, Flower Bomb by Viktor Rolf. And it doesn't matter if I wear this or I wear the Ruby Orchid version, which I also have. They just get crazy compliments, although this one is stronger. So if you like a stronger scent then and more long-lasting scent, that I would go for this one as well. You don't need many sprays. You just need like 1, 2 sometimes. It's such a strong fragrance and I love how fruity and joyful it is. It's so sweet. It's also chocolatey, which is, you know, unexpected in such a sugary fragrance, yet this depth of this chocolate is really what makes it Moorish to my nose, and I just can't stop sniffing it. It's so delicious. If you love delicious fragrances, you must try this. I bet you already have. But it's one of those that is a classic, you know, it's so popular, but it is so good and gets really, really good compliments. Another scent that is one that gets compliments. Again, this one is like, this one I got compliment at the doctor's. It is Nishane Extrait de Parfum Reykjavik Papillefico. This scent I also wore quite a lot this year, and for me, you know, a lot might be less than for you or more, but I do have a huge fragrance collection. So if I'm telling you I wore something quite a lot, it is like because I can literally go every year wearing a different fragrance. But if I repeat fragrances, it's, you know, I really love them, and this I love overspraying it. It's admittedly not the best longevity in a fragrance, which I'm gutted about, but I do reapply it when I actually wear it throughout the day. And it is this weird mix of, think Gris Chanel, but with a lot more spices, a bit more juicy and sweet, and a bit more nutty. It's absolutely delicious, a bit chocolatey even. It's one of those fragrances that is fresh and sweet and grounded at the same time. It's also very elegant, very feminine, but I would say it's a bit less feminine than Gris Chanel, for me at least. But some of you have said to me that Gris Chanel doesn't smell very feminine to you, which is very funny how different people can have different opinions about a scent. So yeah, if you're one of those people, that maybe try this and see if you like it more, because you actually might love it a little bit more. It's a nice alternative, I think, to Gris Chanel. It's not a dupe in any sense of the word, but it is very special and it has some of those elements. Next up is a scent that is super fresh, and this gets really good compliments. Again, this I'm telling you, like church again. I get, maybe because people are like sitting next to me, compliments. Also, my husband loves it absolutely on me. I think I also got a compliment on this one. I don't remember exactly when, but there was something more. This scent is 40 Knots from Xerjoff, and it's a freshie, but it's so good. It's a rose, aquatic, spicy, peppery freshie. There is something, the aquatic quality in it. It's just so cool. You can almost smell like the sea, the iodine, I think it's called, the jod in Polish, and you can just smell it. It's so piercing, it's so fresh, and I love that rose, that really fresh rose in here. This fragrance is also really long lasting, projecting as well for a freshie. That's sometimes a hard thing to do. This, I think that is why it gets so many compliments, because it's not a typical freshie. This is not, oh, I'm so bored, like on another freshie, like I know what it will smell like. No, this is a different freshie. It's a kind of similar to the Dior exclusive fragrance Rose something, got what it's called, but there is also a rose, a spicy rose fragrance, a bestseller for Dior, and this is quite similar, but it is cheaper. So if you want something similar, and this is also, I believe, more long lasting, although I haven't owned that one, but I've tested it and I believe this one is more long lasting as well. So if you want something similar, then this is amazing. And it's that, I love that it's just so atypical for a freshie and gorgeous fragrance. Another scent that gets crazy attention, and it is Gris Chanel from BDK. let me know if you've got the same experience, if you have this fragrance in your collection. But this, again, it just gets attention from even my in-laws. This just gets people talking to you. It's beautiful, it's fig and lactonic. Sandalwood is creamy. It's one of those fragrances that it's my husband's favorite fragrance ever. It's really feminine to him. He always says that it smells just very beautiful, like beautiful femininity. So if you want something like this from a niche market, then try something like this. It's truly something that you wouldn't find at a designer counter. It is like you have to pay for a niche fragrance to get the beauty of this fragrance and the quality. It just smells 3D, beautiful fragrance oils, and it's as I'll say, it's worth the hype. Next scent that very quickly also has become my most complimented fragrance, it is Valentino Born in Roma Donna Eau de Parfum. This scent, it is so simple yet so great. If you're somebody who maybe doesn't have a huge amount of fragrances in your collection and you want a guaranteed compliment getter no matter your age, this is something I would recommend. It's strong, it's fruity, sweet, but this light sweetness that you can wear every single day, and it's not too much. It really projects as well, and it's so fun. It's kind of like bubblegummy a little bit. So fun. It literally makes me smile. Yes, it's simple. Like there's a ton of fragrances that designers make that are similar to this, but yet there is this lightness, this fluffiness to this fragrance that really nicely projects, and this really gets compliments. This one, when I was wearing it, my husband, like twice on separate occasions, like once we were in the car, once we were out shopping, and he was like, who's smelling so good? Can you smell it? And then I was like, is it this? And he was like, yeah, it's you. So this is one of those fragrances that even if you're surrounded by loads of people, you're in a crowded environment, you'll definitely be smelled with this one. So I think this one has a plus in my book. And now for the two most complimented fragrances this year, I would add Oud Wood to this, but I've run out a couple months back and I stopped wearing it. So it's still, you know, very, very complimented, but I've run out. That's why it's not the top three, the top two. But these two, it's crazy. It is those fragrances that people have asked me to write the names of these two down, that I've been stopped, I've been like chatted up like on the street, at Starbucks for these fragrances, or to be told that I smell amazing. This sort, and my husband also loves both of them. So it's to say that not only fragrance fanatics will love the way you smell, but also just random people who probably, you know, don't know, maybe some of them, what a niche fragrance is. They also love those two scents. And this one is Amouage Guidance. I'm telling you, there is something about the scent that is just gets crazy compliments. I never expected, like, I love this scent. I loved it ever since it was prior to even releasing it. I got a sample to wear and I loved it, and I couldn't wait for this to be released. But I didn't expect that so many people would actually love the way it smells, because it's a bit of an unusual scent. It's not something very, you know, designer, but made with better ingredients. It does smell niche, and it's a tiny bit challenging, but yet it's so crowd pleasing. It's this creamy but also powdery, woody, floral scent that is just so gentle yet so strong. This is a strong as fragrance. It does project. It's very feminine. It's my favorite Amouage for women, because other fragrances from Amouage, they're really beautiful florals, but yet the milkiness, the creaminess, and the like almost a soapy note that is in here just makes it so much more interesting. There's also this incensey smell as well. So this is like your likable floral fragrance, but with this incredible clean incensey smell. It's so likable. I know that many of you have purchased it on my recommendation on this channel because you have commented and you love it, and I'm so happy you do. Truly, this you'll love this. I would have to say that I do prefer the men's Amouage fragrances to women's, but this has just thrown that out of the window because I'm such a big fan of this fragrance that I literally, like, I couldn't not have this fragrance in my collection. This is how much I love it, and it gets crazy compliments. So I'll link it down below. I think my code on Twisted Lily will work for 10% off on this if you want to purchase it, because the Amouage doesn't really do discounts, but I've got a discount code on pretty much all of the niche fragrances on Twisted Lily, so I'll link it down below for you. And I'll also link some samples, so if you want to at least sample this gorgeousness, you can as well. And another fragrance, I would say those two are head to head. It's hard to say which one is more complimented, because they're both crazy compliments again everywhere I go, and it is Valaya from Parfums de Marly. This scent is the beautiful, perfect, clean scent for every day. It smells like a luxurious hotel. It smells like peach fuzz and just freshly laundered clothes. It's just musky, it's light, it's airy. It's everything you want in a clean fragrance. It lasts and does project forever. It just goes everywhere and everybody can smell you. This is literally one of those scents that, you know, this bottle is, loads of it is gone, but I've also said to myself, no, you can't wear this fragrance today because you've worn it before, because I would probably go through the whole bottle if I wasn't stopping myself. It's literally that good. If I'm in a bad mood, if I'm in a good mood, like, this goes with any of my moods. And if you love fragrances, you might know that sometimes, you know, when you feel bad, you steer away from certain fragrances. At least me, like, I can't just tolerate certain fragrances. This just everyday, perfect, long lasting, fresh, unique enough to give you that niche interest twist and crazy compliments. My husband absolutely adores it. Every time I wear it, he compliments it as well. So it's one of those. So those two are my top most complimented this year. I wonder what will come next year with all new fragrances releasing. Let me know your number one most complimented fragrance of this year. Follow me on Instagram if you haven't already at Monika_Cioch, my channel name, where I post a bit more about fragrances and fashion, and I'll see you in my next one.